I do not think that it is outside of the realm of possibility at all that somebody at CrossFit pushed the wrong button and Whoop was just like, okay, see ya, we don't need you guys anymore, nice knowing you, bye. Yo, so at this point in time, I currently have 4 videos on the Whoop. I got 4 videos on the Whoop because I have told you guys how to use them, what's good with it, what's bad with it, and then why it no longer is good at all. So if you want to look at those videos, go ahead and check back on those. This one today is why CrossFit is no longer listed on the activities list on the Whoop. CrossFit's a trademark name, right? So everyone's like, oh, did CrossFit try to leave the Whoop? I don't think so. I don't think CrossFit tried to leave the Whoop. I think Whoop is trying to leave CrossFit. Now, here's the key word. I keep on saying think. I'm going to give you a little bit of my speculation on the thing because there's no information out there on it. All we've gotten is that, oh, Whoop is trying to be all-inclusive and use every sort of fitness that is in a box affiliate. Box gym, box. I've always hated that word. It's like, oh, we're in the box.
What's in the box?
It's like, it's an affiliate, it's a gym, it's a CrossFit gym. I don't know how I feel about box. I know that's one of the grassroots terms that people like, but I also don't like WOD. I don't like WOD, I don't like box. I like workout of the day, I like Metcon. I don't know, they drive me crazy. Pet peeves of mine, whatever, those are mine. But anyway, box fitness is something that I would never click. It's like, all right, I like CrossFit, I like functional fitness. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am probably one of the longest tenure. I would bet that nobody who's watching this video, if this video gets 10,000 views, I'm supremely confident that nobody has been wearing a Whoop longer than I have, with the exception of the person who introduced me to the Whoop. She's a physical therapist. Her name is Natalie Heading, and she was part of my team back in the day when there were teams for the regionals. She said, hey, you gotta check this thing out. It's new, upcoming, awesome technology. It tells you what your HRV is. It gives you a recovery score. And back in 2015, it was awesome. Whoop was a small company. It was on the up and up, right? CrossFit was a big company. Whoop was small. It was coming up. CrossFit was big, right? Whoop was trying to get into the CrossFit space. Why wouldn't you want to get into the CrossFit space? CrossFit was huge in 2015. I frequently mention how I think that CrossFit was at its biggest in 2018. So in 2015, Whoop could see this, like, all right, we're going to try and get out of that so we can go up to here. Latch on and take it for the ride so we can rise with CrossFit. And you know what? Back in the day, I would say nothing bad about Whoop because everything it seemed that they were doing was good. It gave you great data. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter if it didn't have a clock on it, which is the biggest thing. People go, oh, I can't wear this thing. It doesn't have a clock on it. And present day, it still doesn't have a clock on it. Here's my Whoop. It sits by my computer. I'll never wear it again because the Whoop 4.0 is a piece of shit. Not only is it a piece of shit that no longer tells you what your heart rate is properly, and I've proven that in my most recent video on it, that when you compare it to a strap monitor, the one you throw across your chest, or even when you compare it to the Apple Watch, it's just so far off that I don't know why anybody on God's green earth would use it as a viable training tool towards your fitness increasing. Now, the issue becomes, I don't think it's a bad thing that it's no longer with CrossFit, because if you really truly believe what CrossFit is, it's about forging elite fitness, it's about getting everybody to a certain spot, and you want everything driven and pointed in the correct direction. And if you have something as shitty as this thing on your wrist, it's giving you false data, incorrect data, and anybody who really knows what they're talking about isn't going to promote this thing anymore. Which brings me to what's going on right now. So in CrossFit, nobody knows what's going on. There's no direction. It's kind of stagnated, and if it hasn't stagnated, it's just floating there. It's like hovering in the water. It's like a buoy. It could go up. It could go down like the Titanic. You know that scene where the Titanic's just sitting there?
Now the stern section just kind of bobs there like a cork for a couple of minutes.
And it's like bobbing. It's like, it's gonna go down. Get to the top of the ship. Hurry up.
We're gonna make it, Rose. Trust me.
It's like, well, here I am at the top of the ship trying to freaking hold on for dear life. As it's just bobbing around. And Whoop isn't stupid. Whoop just invested like billions of dollars into their company, and they see that CrossFit's just bobbing around over there, and they go, okay, here, we can either get to the top of the ship or we can jump off and see what we can do on our own. And what are they doing on their own? Well, here's what they've done while they're with CrossFit. They've brought on athletes like Rich Froning and Katrin Davidsdottir and Brooke Wells and Carrie Pierce and Noah Olson. And these people all have about 1 million followers, like 1 point something for Rich and 1 point something for Katrin and 1 point something for Brooke. Now, you go and look at the CrossFit Instagram page and they have 800,000 followers. So if Whoop has access and a hold and is sponsoring these athletes, what does it need CrossFit for anymore? CrossFit, the company that doesn't really do much. You've got somebody like Rich Froning, where when you go to try to sign up for his level 1 at Mayhem in Cookeville, Tennessee, it sells out. Rich Froning at this point in time is arguably bigger than CrossFit. So why would Whoop have anything to do with CrossFit? Why would they want to sponsor the CrossFit Games? Everybody who goes to CrossFit follows CrossFit, also probably follows the people that it has sponsored already. already. The Brooke Wells, the Catherine Davidsons, the Rich Froning, the Noah Olson, the Carrie Pierces of the world. Whoop is so big right now that it's got people on its platform. Now we got the golf scene of it. You look at the Justin Thomas, the Rory McIlroy. They have more followers than the CrossFitters that I just mentioned. And then they've got Patrick Mahomes, which has more followers than the freaking golfers I mentioned. And then they've got LeBron James, which has 120-something million followers. You tell me why Whoop would bother with CrossFit anymore. I think it's Whoop that is leaving CrossFit, not CrossFit that is leaving Whoop. I do not think that it is outside of the realm of possibility at all that somebody at CrossFit pushed the wrong button and Whoop was just like, okay, see ya, we don't need you guys anymore, nice knowing you, bye. Are there going to be legal issues with it? I don't know. It seemed like Whoop was the official wearable of the CrossFit Games, which when they came out with the 4.0 seemed like the biggest piece of crap ever. It seemed like it was rushed, no longer aligned with what I liked so much about it. I liked so much about the Whoop was that everything aligned perfectly. If I did a hard workout, I could see exactly where it got hard and where it got easy in relation to my heart rate on the wrist-worn monitor. It's something that you wouldn't see on something like a Fitbit or on an Apple Watch. It was always a little bit rough, it was a little bit off, and Whoop always seemed to be spot on. And that was until they came out with a 4.0 and they invested billions of dollars in the company. And they started to take more of a emphasis on trying to grow the company than trying to drive the performance metrics. It drives people like me away. People like me who are very into CrossFit and it's grassroots. It's like what was so important about CrossFit? It was super cool that they said, okay, this is how we're going to squat. Make sure you get your hip crease below the knee. That was something that you wouldn't hear really anywhere else. It's mind-blowing to think that before 2000, when Greg Glassman created CrossFit, you had to squat above parallel or you were going to blow your knees out. I know very few CrossFitters. Let's call it less than 1% of the CrossFitters I know who have knee issues. And those who do have knee issues, they don't listen to the things that people who are trying to help them tell them. And at this point in time, Whoop, it's a total sellout company. It's a sellout company, and I'm sure you've seen and I'm sure you've heard and I'm sure you've taken a marketing class where it's like, hey, look at the Apple logo. What happens when you see the Apple logo? All of a sudden, this computer, which I'm talking on, it's an Apple computer, you're going to spend up to 20% more on it just because it's got the Apple logo on it. Whoop is making its way that way. It is just a freaking name. It's a wearable. It's a company, and it's no longer anything great. Now, the Apple, I think it's a good product, so I spend the money on it. The Whoop, am I going to spend $35 a month on it? Absolutely not. Do you guys even know that when they came out, it was like $500? So in 2015, I bought this little thing for $500, and I haven't paid for it ever since. So how mad can I really be about it? They don't make me pay, but I do believe that in 2 or 3 months, this thing will never work again. It's just the app that works at this point. This thing doesn't do anything. This thing doesn't even give you an accurate heart rate. It still doesn't even tell you the freaking time. My first purchase ever in my life was a Reptar watch. You know, Rugrats, Reptar, that freaking TV show on Nickelodeon. I bought a Reptar watch. It was $5. It was a big moment in my life, and to this day, it still freaking works. It still tells me the time. Whoop, this billion-dollar company, can't put a clock on this goddamn thing for whatever reason. I don't know why anyone would wear it, considering it doesn't even tell you what it's supposed to be doing properly anymore. It blows my mind that this is a company and that this is even a topic of discussion because it's such a piece of crap. Everyone is so lost in the sauce. They're so lost. It's like, oh, look at this person wearing it. Look at this person wearing it. It's like, can't you believe how fit that person is when they're doing that workout? It's like, no, when you're doing CrossFit, it doesn't even give you an accurate measurement. It doesn't give you the proper reading. When I did my test, apparently when you're running on a treadmill, it's much closer. But even on something where I'm using the assault bike, something to do with your wrist occluding and the pumping of your wrist and moving around completely skews the heart rate monitor that is the Whoop. It skews it in a way where it isn't very similar to the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch was good, which is a wrist-worn monitor, and the Whoop wasn't good. I don't know what happened. I don't know what they did, but I do know that when you go and watch something like Froning doing dumbbell snatches, box jump overs, and wall walks in that open workout, and he's completely dying, he sits on the floor, he's the freaking 4-time fittest man in the world, has won the CrossFit Games 10 years in a row, that there's no way in hell that his heart rate is 150 and that's it. I don't care. Sure, he's the fittest person ever, but that does not mean that his heart rate doesn't go over 150, you freaking idiots. There's no saving you if you think that that is true. Go buy the Whoop, go waste your money, sure, don't watch my videos, you're lost, I can't save you. It's impossible to save you. Tim Paulson pulling a freaking 129 pace for 3 minutes on the rower and you're gonna tell me his heart rate isn't over 145? It's like, what is wrong with you people? How can you be so dumb? You're not listening to a single one of my videos? You probably think The Rock is natural too. So to wrap all this stuff up, I think that Whoop is pulling itself away from CrossFit. I think it's because they're leaving the ship that has no direction. It's just a ship going around in circles in the ocean, and that is what the company of CrossFit looks like it's doing right now. They've They've removed the freaking banner from the CrossFit Games site. Whoop is no longer a sponsor on the Games website. They've removed the activity that is CrossFit from the activities list on the Whoop plugin screen. And I think it's just because that CrossFit has done all that it can in the partnership that was the Whoop deal. And Whoop is now just on this rocket ship and it's leaving CrossFit behind. And can you really blame them? I don't blame them. I'm sitting on the ship. I'm Leonardo DiCaprio at the top. I'm bobbing around and I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to freaking make this thing. We're going to survive. Hopefully Ruth doesn't just say, I'll never let go, and then let's go. And it's like, oh, see you later, dude.
I'll never let go. I promise.
Have a good time down at the bottom of the ocean. For all of you hopeful, follow the channel, shoot this around. What are your opinions on the Whoop? Do you agree? Have you heard this anywhere else? I don't think you have. For more of this Toyota speculation and crap, follow me, subscribe, and we're out.